The context of writing. Writing, like speaking, does not happen in a vacuum. It happens in a certain setting and it has to relate to that setting. So, because of this, the writer has to consider the audience for whom he is writing, the purpose of why he is writing, the response which he expects he will get because of that writing, and of course, based upon all of these things, he has to consider the style of how he is going to write. So first of all, in audience recognition, he has to consider who his audience are, whether they are high-tech, meaning are they experts in the field, so they would require an expert terminology to be used in the writing, or they are low-tech, meaning that they have some kind of a knowledge but not the expert knowledge of the field, or they are lay audience who don't know anything about what you are talking about. So your writing will have to take into account their level of knowledge and make it more simpler so that they can understand. Then whether your audience are going to be a multicultural audience, because different cultures have different ways of understanding. So keeping this in mind, a multicultural audience, you will have to approach the topic in a different way. Sometimes we know that in Western cultures, the topic sentence comes in the first paragraph, but in other cultures, it gradually leads at perhaps the end of the paragraph. For an international audience, you will have to keep your writing very simple and concise, because you do not know that their level of proficiency in English would be not what you expect from native speakers. Besides this, it should be short, besides being concise and simple. So the purpose of your writing is the practical intent of the message. That is important to keep in mind. What does your writing hope to convey? What is the purpose behind it? Does it serve the purpose for which it was intended? At some stage, the grammatical niceties do not concern business people a lot. For example, typically in a business environment, the people would look at an email and say, great, we got the contract. They would not say that, look at this email, it is full of errors. So this thing has to be kept in mind, that the purpose of the message is more important than perhaps the grammar or the linguistic accuracy. So the preciseness and vagueness usually have to be avoided. But there are some companies in which speed and efficiency of emails is considered more important than accuracy in grammar. But where amounts are concerned and where dates are concerned, there you cannot afford to be vague, and there you have to be very accurate when you are telling about the important contracts or telling about minutes which have to be referred again and again in the future. Another important thing is the response which you expect your audience to have as a result of reading your piece of communication, which might be expected or desired by you. So you have to anticipate the reaction of your reader. What response would there be if you write a letter or complaint when you are angry or when you are under stress? So the best technique for this is that you put yourself in the other people's place and think that if you get such a angry letter, what would be your reaction? So this is a checklist which you can use in order to gauge your own reaction. What is the relationship between me and my reader, or between the companies we work for? Is it long-term, short-term, customer, partner, etc.? What are the main issues at stake? Loss of business, profits, details on a project, loss of trust, etc. Is there enough information? Will my reader know what I need or want them to do? Style is to writing as delivery is to speaking. So style is very important to achieve the right style and tone in your writing. So it helps to establish the right relationship with your reader. You can use textual and non-textual techniques to give the right impression to your reader, and use language appropriately to achieve the right tone. Again, style can be used to clearly convey information and to give ideas to achieve the right tone. and to establish your own credibility and your the right relationship with your readers. So a style can be easily copied by looking at good models of writing, looking at the layout of different documents, and then you can use these good models and these layouts to adapt them, not necessarily to replicate them, but to adapt them to your own style.